Hello and good morning to all of you. I hope you all are fit and fine at your homes. So today we are going to see the next session of science standard 8, lesson number 4, that is current, electricity and magnetism. Now by the word electricity you must be knowing that most of your household equipments, right from your mobile phones, laptops, television sets, your refrigerator, everything, your mixer grinders, everything, they work on electricity, and without electricity they will not be able to work. So we are going to see about electricity further. Now we'll recall something, which constituents are present in an atom. Now atom, you must have heard this word. Now atom is the smallest particle of a matter, and it consists of protons, neutrons and electrons. Now protons and neutrons, they are present in the nucleus of the atom, and electrons, they revolve around the nucleus. Now as many number of protons are present, same number of electrons will be present. An atom has same number of positively charged protons and negatively charged electrons. So an object doesn't show any charge though its atom contains charged particles. Now what happens, as same number of protons are present and electrons are also same, so what happens, the positive and the negative charges, they balance each other. So the net charge on the atom is 0. So it will not have any charge, but the charges are present in the atom. Therefore, we can see that plenty of electrical charge is filled in the objects around us. So we can see the objects which are around us, they are made up of matter, and matter, the smallest particle is atom. So it contains charges. Now what will happen if a glass rod is rubbed on the silk cloth? Now see, if a glass rod is rubbed on the silk cloth, that is static electricity which comes in, the charges are developed on the objects. Now what is static and moving charges? Now charges which remain stationary at one place, those are static charges, and moving charges means they flow from one object to another. We'll see that further. Those are electrons. Now moving negatively charged particles are the electrons, and they get transferred from one object to other, and they are negatively charged. Can this negative charge be made to flow? Yes, it can be flown. Can electricity be made to flow like water from the higher to the lower level? You have learned that a force will have to be applied to push a stationary object into motion. So we get current electricity when the electrons in an electrical conductor are made to flow. So whenever the electrons in the electrical conductor, they are made to flow, the current is produced. Now we'll see current electricity. A large current flows. Now see, a large current flows when the lightning strikes, when the lightning takes place from a cloud to the ground, what we see in the rainy seasons. Now while sensation, at that time a lot of current flows, and that time a sensation is felt by us due to a microscopically small current flowing to the brain. So there is a small current also which is flowing through the brain, which we feel. You are aware of the current flowing through wires, electric bulbs and equipments in the houses. Now see, you must be aware of the wires and electrical equipments that are at your homes, as I said earlier, which were your phones, laptops, everything, they work on electricity because there is a flow of current through the wires at your home which you get. And now these electricity, whatever is the word is, it makes our life comfortable by providing us lights, fans and all entertainment things like radios, televisions. So it makes our life comfortable. Now in the electric cells of a radio or in a car battery, a current is produced by the flow of both negatively and positively charged particles. Now in the electric cells of the radio or the cells of car battery, there also a current is flowed because of the negatively and positively charged particles. Now electrostatic potential. Now water or a liquid flows from a higher level to a lower level. Now you must have seen water if it is a height and some water is at low level, so this water will try to come on the low level side so that they both will become equal. Heat also flows from a body at a higher temperature to a body at a lower temperature. Now similarly, there is a tendency of the positive charge to flow from a higher electric potential to a lower electric potential. So positive charge flows from high electric potential to low electric potential. So this electric level deciding the direction of flow of electric charges, it is called electrostatic potential. So this electric level, the difference which is there, that is which will decide the direction of the flow of electrical charge, that is known as electrostatic potential. Now potential difference, similar to the height of a waterfall, the temperature difference of a hot and a cold bodies. Now the difference between the potential at 2 points, so whatever difference is there between the 2 points, the potential, the difference of the electric levels at the 2 points, that is known as potential difference. Now potential difference is interesting to us. Now see, you will find here two circuit diagrams are the electrical circuits. So take connecting copper wire and connect. Now copper is a good conductor of electricity, so electrons will flow through it. So now take connecting copper wires and connect the circuit as shown here. Now this is the first circuit over here. No current is seen to flow in the bulb. See here the bulb, you can see it is not lit, so here no current is flowing in this circuit. Now connect the same circuit, a 1.5 volt dry cell available in the market. Now see, same you will connect with the cell. This is the negative terminal of the cell, this is the positive terminal of the cell. So you have to introduce a cell in this, which you get in the market, and then you will realize that the bulb is lit over here, means the current is flowing through the circuit. Now it will be realized from the glowing of the bulb that a current is flowing through the circuit. So here by the glowing of the bulb you will come to know that the current is flowing through the circuit. Now electrons in the wire flow due to the potential difference between the two ends of the dry cell. Now because of the potential difference between this positive and the negative terminal of the battery or the cell, the current flows. Now these flow from electrons in the wire, they flow due to the potential difference between the two ends of the dry cell. These flow from the negative terminal of the cell to the positive terminal. So it flows from the negative terminal to the positive terminal. Now conventional current flows in the opposite direction and is shown in the figure by the sign of the arrow. Now conventional current is the positive charge which flows throughout the circuit, and that is in the opposite direction of the current. Now we will learn about the electrical circuit later in this chapter. Now there is no current as there is no potential difference in the absence of any cell. So if see here you have not put the battery, so there is no, two terminals are not there, so no potential difference will be developed. That is why the bulb is not glowing or it is not lit, because the current is not there over here. Current starts flowing in the circuit as soon as the potential difference is applied. So when the potential difference is applied, when you put in a battery over here or a cell, and because of the negative and the positive terminals which are there in the cell, a potential difference is created, and because of that the current flows. Now the current starts flowing in the circuit as soon as the potential difference is applied, that is the cell, what you put in that. Now the unit of potential difference in SI system is volt. The difference in SI system, the unit is volt, and we write it by capital V. So in SI system it is volt. We will learn about it in the next standard. Now SI is the International System of Units. You must be knowing SI system and CGS system. Now how can we measure water flow emerging from a pipe Now we can find from the amount of water coming out in the specific time period. Now in a specific time period, how much water is coming in from that pipe in the specific time period. If you are, for example, in 5 minutes, how much water is coming through that, or in 1 hour, how much it is coming. If like that you will calculate, you will get the amount of liters. Now you can measure the water which is emerging from the pipe. Now we have seen that electric current is produced due to the flow of charged particles. Now you saw over here why the electric current was flowing, because due to the flow of charged particles. Now electrical charge flowing through a wire in 1 second. Now electrical charge flowing through the wire in 1 second can be called as a unit current. Now unit means 1. Whenever unit is there, means it is 1 unit. So the SI unit of electric current is coulomb per second or ampere. It is coulomb per second, or it is known as ampere. Now 1 ampere is equal to 1 coulomb per 1 second, which is equal to 1 C per S, that is coulomb per second. And electric current is a scalar quantity. Now electric cell. A source is required to produce a uniform flow of charge in a circuit. So there should be a uniform flow of charge in a circuit. Such a general device is an electrical cell. So such a device which gives that uniform flow of charges is a electric cell. Now various types of electric cells are available today. In the market you get various types of electrical cells. Now these are used in a range of machines, from small to complex machines. These cells are used, for example, from your wristwatch to submarines. In everything the electric cells are produced. Now wristwatch you must have seen. If you must have opened any time, there is a small battery inside the cell. That must be a simple cell. Now out of these you must be aware of the solar cells. Now solar cells also you must be aware of that. The main function of the various electric cells is to maintain a constant potential difference between its two terminals. So their main function is to keep that constant potential difference between the two terminals, so that you will get that uniform flow. The electric cells work on electric charges to maintain a constant potential difference. So they work on electric charges. So because of the electric charges, there is a constant potential difference. Now about which we will learn later. Now let us learn about the electric cells that are currently in use. Now dry cells. The dry cells are used in radio sets, wall clocks and torches. The normally what you get in the market, the battery cells. These are available in 3 to 4 sizes. The construction of a dry cell is as shown in the figure 4.2. Now if you see the figure 4.2, the dry cell which is given, take a lead dry cell and remove its outer coating. Inside you will find a whitish metal layer. Now if you now do that carefully, but you will observe here, at least the structure is given over here, so it can be harmful. Don't take out with your hand. But if you visualize, you will get such thing. Now take a lead dry cell and remove its outer coating. Inside you will find a whitish metal layer. You can see on page number 24 there is a dry cell picture. So that whitish metal layer, that is a zinc metal layer. Which metal? Zinc. Now this is the negative terminal of the cell. So zinc is the negative terminal of the cell. Now carefully break open this layer. There is another layer inside. An electrolyte is filled with between these two layers. So an electrolyte inside is filled. The electrolyte contains negatively charged and positively charged ions. So electrolyte will contain both the negatively charged and positively charged ions. These are the carriers of electricity because the charges will flow. The electrolyte is a wet pulp of zinc chloride and ammonium chloride. So there is a wet pulp of zinc chloride and ammonium chloride. So remember this word, it can come for fill in the blanks. There is a graphite rod at the center of the cell. Now this is the positive terminal of the cell. The graphite is the positive terminal and zinc was the negative terminal. Now a paste of manganese dioxide is filled outside the rod. Because of the chemical reaction of these chemicals, electrical charge is produced on the two terminals, that is graphite and zinc, and an electric current flows in the circuit. So whatever chemicals are there inside, a reaction takes place, charges are developed and they flow, and because of that electric current flows in the circuit. Now due to the wet pulp used in the cell, the chemical reaction proceeds slowly, hence a large electric current cannot be obtained from this. So a large electric current is not obtained, a smaller electric current is obtained from the dry cell. Now compared to the electric cells using liquids, the shelf life of dry cells is longer. So compared to the electric cells which are using liquid, the shelf of this dry cells, it is longer than them. Dry cells are very convenient to use as these can be held in any direction with respect to the ground. So you can hold it in any direction and can be used in mobile instruments. Now mobile instruments means which you can carry from one place to another. So next onwards, lead acid cell we will see in the next session. Thank you.